Why do you support the findings of the architects for?
Well, I support the findings because I've done the research myself. It's quite evident that fires alone cannot cause destruction of 3 steel-framed buildings, high-rises. If there were to be a destruction of them due to these fires and due to the damage of the airplanes, it would look completely different. You would not have complete destruction. You would have severe damage to the buildings, absolutely. You may even have the toppling of the top portions of the towers and then some damage to the lower floors. But there's no way that it can collapse to nothing. That can only happen if you remove all the columns.
Is this something that set you off when you first saw it, or what was your initial reaction to the?
Well, I think we were all pretty amazed when we saw those events unfold on September 11, 2001. I think we all remember where we were, what we were doing. You believe what is being told. I mean, I believe that, yeah, it's possible that they can collapse this way. But really what got me sort of rethinking on this whole issue was the Building 7 issue, which the mainstream media just hasn't been covering at all. Building 7 was another 47-story skyscraper that fell down on the same day on that afternoon. It was, 6 hours later or so. And there was no plane hitting that building, and there was no proper investigation or explanation given why that building also fell in the fashion it did. It basically collapsed at free fall speed. That's not possible. That can only happen if you remove all the core columns at the right moment in a controlled demolition fashion, as we've seen on TV.
So how could it be that it was controlled demolition?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know who did it or how it was done. That's for the investigation to find out. I can only tell you that it was not 19 hijackers with box cutters with 2 planes managing to get 3 buildings down in New York. About the other incidents with the Pentagon, I don't want to get into that issue because I don't know much about that. I haven't looked into that.
A lot of people, would consider this a conspiracy theory, and so a lot of people would want to attach themselves to something,
Sure.
People who do, get labeled quacks or whatnot.
Absolutely.
Like standing in front of the camera, standing up for what you believe,
Yeah, well, I guess we still live in a democracy. We still have the freedom of speech. We're able to express our opinions freely still, and I think I feel the need to do so. There's evidence that points to a completely different story than what we were told, and I feel like I have to tell that story. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a new investigation will prove me wrong. But all the evidence I've seen, all the things that I've studied, and all the things that I've read point me in a totally different direction. So I'd like to get some answers, and I'm not doing it really just for me, I'm also doing it for the victims' families. I mean, over 2,000 Americans and other nationalities, including Canadians, died that day. And then never mind all those countless other people that died in Afghanistan and Iraq. It was all based on the fact that the war on terror was on at that point. And it was blamed on these crazy Arabs. And that's why I think I need to stand up for this. I know this, I put myself on a limb here, but I just feel that's right. The right thing to do.
And today, this is a movement by your group throughout the U.S., Canada, and some other countries as well.
And international signers. Obviously, this group is the strongest in the United States, for obvious reasons. Mr. Gage is a single individual who has really single-handedly collected the signatures of 1,000 professionals. He's talked to them, he showed them the information, he gave them all his findings, and after reviewing that information, they signed on. I mean, it's kind of quite difficult to convince professionals to sign on to something like this. And a majority would turn away and not even want to look at it. But the ones that do decide to look at the information, I think they feel pretty strongly about it, that they have to look to be revisited in a proper independent investigation that truly looks at the causes. Because that has implications for all the structures out there. If office fires could bring down steel-framed high-rise buildings, that means that we're doing something wrong as engineers and as architects. I mean, if it was that easy, why hire demolition experts? We just light a few fires and off we go. I mean, that's crazy, right? Any other questions?
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I just would like to thank everyone for coming out, and there's some spectators in the background, so thank you for coming out. This is a very difficult topic. It's painful. It hurts me to think about these issues too, but I just force myself to use my training, my engineering training, which looks at the facts, be critical of the facts, and use some physical principles in that matter. And I hope other people will do the same, particularly architects and engineers, because they're the ones that have the professional expertise, and they're the ones that people trust. So thank you.